Hey, how's it going, everyone? Ryan here. Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons, and welcome back to the channel. Hey, what's up? What's up, kid? Today, we have a very fun and special video, and it's a video type that I have been looking forward to making for quite some time. I know I kind of did one earlier for this island a few weeks ago, but this is different. As you can see by the title of this video, we are officially doing our first ever true villager hunt here on the island. So before, whenever I would do these villager hunts, I always kind of had a theme in mind for the type of villager I was going for, whether it be because of how rare they were perceived to be, or if I was doing a theme such as the all koala island, so I only knew I was looking for koala villagers. But because this island doesn't really have a theme for it, and it's really just going to be living your best life here on Animal Crossing New Horizons, this villager hunt is going to be very different and very fun in the sense that I'm simply just going to be going to different islands and seeing which villagers are there, and then just doing an overall kind of, I'm going to call it a vibe check. This is going to make for a very interesting experience, of course, because it means that if the first villager I find is someone that I really like, there is a chance, unfortunately, for FOMO, fear of missing out, to kick in. And I have this desire to see the next villager, and maybe the next villager will be even cooler or better than this one that I'm seeing. But I am not going to let FOMO determine which villager I take to Churro and which ones I don't. If I go to the first island and it's someone cool, then we'll take it. But if not, then we'll just keep on going. So as you can see here, I have 5 Nook Miles tickets to help me accomplish today's goal, which I know might not seem like a lot for a villager hunt, especially considering I've done hundreds of tickets of villager hunts before. But as you can see, I've actually done quite a lot of work on I'm not necessarily the island, but I guess like my character. I've spent quite a lot of Nook Miles tickets. As you can see, I started filling up a lot of the stamps as well on my Nook Miles app here, and I've unlocked already a lot of stuff. I've unlocked things using Nook Miles for DIYs. I've used them obviously just to buy some Nook Miles tickets, but for the most part, I got a ton of the reactions. I increased my pocket size. I'm buying all the apps as much as I can, DIYs, whatever you can name, whatever you can think of. So while this villager hunt may go on, or could have gone on a little bit longer, I'm gonna go ahead and save those longer ones for a little bit later on in the island's lifespan and just do a quick one. That way I'm not getting too picky in particular about the villagers that I hunt for in the beginning. I already have the housing kit as well too from Tom Nook. One of the things that I forgot you had to do was spend 10,000 bells in order to get the housing kits. And what I'm going to do now is just like all the other homes, is I'm going to go around and find a good place for this. I'm running around the second and third level-ish of my island, trying to contemplate if whether or not this is going to be a good spot for the villager. But one thing I guess I'm kind of realizing is there's really not a good spot for them to access the bottom portions of the island. And I don't know if villagers use things like permanent ladder setups or vines that are attached to cliffs in order to climb up and down your island. If anyone has ever seen that, let me know. So for now, what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of place the house over here on this side of the island. I know that looking at the rest of the map, there are a lot of homes on this side already, and it may be feeling a little bit crowded there. There's also this section right here next to the campsite, but again, I don't have a bridge set up, and I'm pretty sure I can't build one while this house is going to be built. Now, I do have the option, of course, to put it anywhere and then, of course, move it later. And with the thought of me moving my house at some point, I do think there's an opportunity here, but my house is pretty well decorated, which you'll see at some point. So I think what I'm going to do in the interim, there's quite a lot of empty space right here. And so even though it feels kind of close-ish to another home, I'm going to go ahead and place the housing kit right here. I've been getting into the habit of putting fences around some of the homes, but given the fact that I'm not quite sure how big of an area I want to give villagers, or whether or not I want to let more or less how the trees and shrubbery grow around them, this seems totally fine for now. I may move it later on, but yeah, this is a good place to get it started, at least for today's villager hunt. And I guess before we go on the villager hunt, I can kind of show you the little abode that I've made here for my little home. So even though I'm not doing any sort of major designing or terraforming on this island at the moment, one thing that I wanted for myself was I wanted a nice, cozy, quaint little area on this island that I could basically just call my house. And when you get the simple wood fencing from Tom Nook during the tutorial section of the game, I figured I would go ahead and just use it to block off my home. And what you see here is almost like, I would say, the blueprint that I think I might be going for in regards to villager homes. I don't want them to be too large. I don't want them to be too small, but I also don't want them to be so confined that it feels like they're blocking themselves off from the island. So yeah, I just have a little small pathway here that leads from one section to the other, but overall I'm very pleased with how the simple design is looking, and I'm excited to implement it more around the island. But for now, I digress. We have some villager hunting that we need to do, and as always before doing so, if you didn't know, when going villager hunting, it is ideal to drop your ladder. A lot of people may be wondering what the heck I'm doing that for if you haven't seen a villager hunt of mine before, and the reason for that is because if you don't have a ladder when going to mystery islands, especially when villager hunting, you will never have to climb up to different tiers of the island in order to run into the villager that's on the island. So you'll only ever really need your vaulting pole. I'm not sure if leaving your vaulting pole means you don't run into islands where you don't have to jump over, but I don't want to risk it. So with that being said, 5 tickets down for this villager hunt. Let's go ahead and talk to Orville and get it started. What I will say while Orville's loading us up here is if for whatever reason I did run into a villager that I really wanted for this island, just to throw out some names, I would say probably either Lyman, just because Lyman is my favorite OG villager from Diamond, my first completed island, or admittedly Stitches. Stitches I've always had a soft spot for because I think Stitches is such a unique looking villager, and I would love to have Stitches, so either one of those two within these 5 tickets would be amazing. And boy, I have not done this routine in a long time, but let's get started here. Pull out our vaulting pole. We have Sister Fruit Island on island number 1. And who do we have here? There are so many weeds growing on this island. It's almost like an abundance of them I haven't seen before. Is this Becky? Plucky. Okay, so I got the last half of the name right. Is there a chicken named Becky? Well, quick vibe check. I'm gonna go ahead and say nice to meet you, Plucky. I'm gonna move on. One thing that I've been doing that I have been a lot more adamant about as of late that I kind of stopped doing on my other playthrough was I stopped eventually checking the beaches for bottles, because you know eventually you just end up with so many DIYs it feels like you can just make whatever you want. But if I remember correctly, there's usually a DIY bottle on mystery islands, and well, unfortunately it doesn't look like there is one on this one. Yeah, just went all up and down. Doesn't look like there's one, so this is just one of those islands that doesn't have it. That's all good by me. Just means we can move on to the next one. One thing I was thinking about too as I was printing out these Nook Miles tickets was I wonder if there was ever a rumor or any sort of theory going around back in the day where if you printed enough Nook Miles tickets, then eventually you'd end up with like the golden ticket, like a golden Willy Wonka ticket, and just like a golden tool, it like wouldn't well, the golden tools in this game, they break, but the ideal golden ticket would be you just get to fly as many times as you want. You don't have to constantly buy tickets anymore, because I gotta tell you, man, printing out those tickets, especially when you're doing like hundreds of them, takes a while. Ooh, Bamboo Island, an island that I haven't been to before, and I've just recently got some DIYs for it, so I may stay here a little bit longer afterwards to check and see, or rather to harvest some of these materials. Oh, is that Static? Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. Static's deep voice, which is so converse to his appearance. Man, Static has always been really cool for me, too, because in a similar vein that Stitches is really cool for its unique design, the fact that Static just has a straight lightning bolt on his head, I always thought was really cool. Not to mention the colorway was always really nice as well too. Oh man. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and collect some of this bamboo while I contemplate whether or not I want Static on my island. I'm not gonna lie to you guys though. It is a good, like, greater than 50% chance Static is gonna be coming home. And still not another bottle on the island. What gives? Well, I've chopped down quite a lot of bamboo at this point, and I'm fairly positive my axe is gonna... Well, there you go. I was literally just about to say I will let you guys know what my final decision is once my axe breaks, and now that that's happened, I think I'm gonna move on from Static. I'm so sorry, but it's so good to see you. And maybe if I see you before this 5 tickets is up, because that's happened before, I'll take you. But I got 3 tickets left. And you know what? There's still a lot of time. Biff actually also asked to move out today as well, too. So I got another villager hunt coming up in a couple of days. And so there's another chance for Static. But for now, we're going to take our 3 tickets, move on, and see who else we get. I should also mention that at the end of this, whoever the 5th ticket is going to be who I take, period. I'm not really in the zone right now of being that picky or particular, even though I, basically just was. But, like I said, that we have so much time, and it's always kind of nice to live with other villagers as well, too. So whoever that 5th one is, that's who it's going to be no matter what, if I don't decide to go with someone a little bit earlier. The 3rd villager on our little hunt here is going to be... Oh, I remember seeing this line a lot, but it's either Bud, it's not Elvis, Lionel, Rex. Nowhere near close. I always thought the lion villagers were kind of cool, but I never really had one on my island, and while Rex is adorable, definitely not cooler than Static in my opinion, and so we're gonna move on from Rex. If I'm gonna move on from Static in the hopes that the next one's better, then Rex unfortunately will be the exact same. Do bottles even spawn on Mystery Islands anymore? I just have not run into any. 4th ticket on this hunt. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same island that I was just on. Oh nope, just a little bit different. Where are they? This one's always kind of tricky. Sometimes they get behind the cliffs as well, too. Flo! I do remember Flo because I think Flo was the penguin villager that I had on Diamond when I was first going through the gauntlet, for lack of a better term, of getting your 10 initial villagers on your island. Oh, here you go. Here's a mystery bottle. But yeah, it also took me 4 islands to to get a mystery bottle on the beach. That was strange, unless that's just how it goes. Alrighty, here we go. The last ticket. I gotta say, every time I did these hunts, there was always a little bit of anxiety on the last ticket, just because you're really hoping that it's someone that you want. And even though I didn't really say I wanted anyone in particular, I'm hoping to see someone cool. So fingers crossed that our last ticket comes through for us. Final ticket, Bamboo Island once again. And you know what? If it's not someone that I like, I hope that it's someone's favorite villager. I already see them in the corner of my eye. They were on the right side. I just saw them. I saw a little bit of black. I'm thinking it might be a frog, maybe a monkey. Not quite sure. Let's go find out. 5th and final ticket for this hunt is, yep, it's a frog, and it's gonna be Huck. Well, so of the 5 tickets, which one was your favorite villager that I ran into, and which one of those villagers would you have taken if you had run into them? I think of the 5 now, there's this, like, I don't know if that's supposed to be Huck's nose or if it's just supposed to be a giant, you guys remember the mole guy from Austin Powers, Gold member? I don't know if Huck is supposed to be the mole, but either way, I would have much preferred Static, but I'm not going to be that picky. As I said in the beginning, Huck is also kind of cool, gigantic yellow cheeks, and I mean, that's unique, right? Thanks again for being so welcoming, even though we just met. You're welcome. And once again, no mystery bottle on this island. I really thought it was 100% chance that you always ran into a mystery bottle on these islands, but I guess not. And yeah, I'm gonna skip the bamboo on this. I still haven't refixed my axe from when it broke last time. What is it with all these people getting into my shots? All the time. Sahara, get out of my shot. Go. Well, there you have it, folks. Another villager hunt in the books for Churro. And as I mentioned before, Biff did recently just ask to move out, and so there is going to be another villager hunt coming up very shortly for this island. So if you're interested in seeing that, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And of course, leave a like on this video. Always helps and lets me know that you guys are really enjoying this series and replaying and revisiting Animal Crossing New Horizons with me. It's been an absolute blast, and I gotta say, I have been loving it in 2024. Restarting, just taking it nice and easy. It's been very pleasant. But for now, everybody, I already did all my dailies for today. It's how I got all the Nook miles and such for this hunt that I did today. And so thank you all so much for watching. I showed you a little bit of what my island is looking like at the moment. And if you're used to gigantic designed islands and such like that, I'm hoping that on some level seeing an Animal Crossing playthrough where it's a little bit more chill and lax is a little bit kind of cool for everybody. I know it's been really awesome for me. But until next time, everybody, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I look forward to giving you guys more updates as this island continues to progress along. And of course, as we continue to gather more villagers and just make it the coolest that I possibly can. Thank you all so much once again. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And until next time, take it easy, everybody.